we're back on a much abridged Halloween special this year, and this time around we're looking at what I think could be one of the most influential scary movies of all time, Poltergeist. No, not the remake of Poltergeist. That is dog shit. No, this is the original Spielbergian classic that I'm sure a lot of people grew up loving. Steven Spielberg, however, did not direct this movie, even though this is a Spielberg story. Tobe Hooper instead takes the director's reins. And I'm not one of those people who has fond childhood memories of growing up with Poltergeist. I wasn't really introduced to the genre with Poltergeist like a lot of my other friends were. But it's definitely clear to see that just rewatching this movie, it's very apparent how integral this was to the development of horror as it stands. So the story, as if you weren't aware of it already, strange and creepy happenings beset an average California family, the Freelings. The father, played by Craig T. Nelson, Steve; Diane, the mother, played by JoBeth Williams; teenage Dana, played by Dominique Dunn; 8-year-old Robbie, played by Oliver Robbins; and 5-year-old Carol Ann, played by Heather O'Rourke. Ghosts are communing with them through the television set, you see. And these ghosts are initially friendly and playful. Grim-grinning ghosts are coming to their house to socialize, even though this isn't a Disney movie. And the spirits turn unexpectedly menacing and sinister. And when sweet little Carol Ann goes missing, the parents turn to a parapsychologist and eventually an exorcist for help to get their daughter home. Now this seems like a classic horror blueprint. There have been many horror movies to come and go since Poltergeist was initially released. And a lot of them were trying to follow this same formula of Poltergeist to not much fanfare, not really much success either. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Poltergeist is the cream of the crop when it comes to like the paranormal stuff, when it comes to actually bringing in an exorcist to help out a very troubled child. In my opinion, The Exorcist is as good as it's gonna get. That is my favorite scary movie of all time. I don't think any other scary movie is gonna come close to what William Friedkin did. Poltergeist is certainly in that conversation, though, when it comes to this subject matter. And I feel like a big reason why Poltergeist is as beloved as it is in the genre especially, the accessibility. Because I can't really think of any people my age when I was younger who were going to watch The Exorcist. Probably would have pooped their pants and ran out of the room. But Poltergeist, there's enough in there that any age can enjoy it. It's a PG rating, and it's a pretty extreme PG. This is before PG-13 was a thing. And again, I feel like this is just another notch in Steven Spielberg's belt. In my opinion, Spielberg is the GOAT. That man really can do no wrong when it comes to crafting a intense story, a family-friendly story. And even though he doesn't direct this movie, the story has his name written all over it, and you can feel it. And this is not to say that Tobe Hooper does a bad job directing this movie. On the contrary, this is a very dark, grim tale. There's a very ominous, weird feeling in this house through the entire runtime. And I think Hooper does a marvelous job of capturing that ambiance. And I think all the actors do really well here too. Craig T. Nelson as the father Steve is really solid. He's super intense. He does a really great job at selling the danger of this situation, because he's going through a lot of human emotions. There's denial, there's anger, there's bargaining. Like, this is a grieving father, man. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. The mother as well, JoBeth Williams, great freaking performance in this. Everybody's really good. All the young actors, Oliver Robbins having a near-death experience when he's getting choked by that clown. And I've actually read up on it that Oliver Robbins' face actually turned blue at one point on set and he almost died clinically. Thank God that kid came out of that situation okay. It's a really good performance, man. Little Heather O'Rourke, again, when you have a really young kid actor, it can be really tough sometimes because a lot of people might look at them and think they're kind of annoying, and I honestly don't really think that's fair just because of their age. You never really feel that with Heather O'Rourke as Carol Ann in this one. She is mind-bogglingly creepy here. They're here. And even though you don't actually see the ghosts a lot of the time, I think that actually adds to the horror of Poltergeist. Spielberg did something very similar with Jaws, which came out a few years prior. Doesn't really show the monster a whole lot. And I'll be honest, this is something that I'm gonna harp on with Poltergeist. With this film especially, like, the effects really weren't as, like, it feels very dated when you watch it. Unlike with Jaws, which had a huge practical shark on set, Poltergeist actually has the beginnings of what looks like CGI here with these ghosts. And even though it may have been groundbreaking from 1982, it doesn't really hold up as well as I would have liked it. But I think with just how these actors are selling the situation, the images you're seeing, the static on the screen is hypnotizing enough. Poltergeist is just one of those movies that you can't help but be transfixed into and invested in from scene one. And I feel like if someone is brand new to the genre, if you don't want to show somebody anything that's super bloody or super freaky in a sense, but you still kind of want to unsettle them a bit, Poltergeist is one of those that I feel like would be a great introduction for someone who's new to the genre. Because again, think about it. Steven Spielberg, I'm sure everybody and their grandmother has seen a Steven Spielberg movie, so this is a good introduction in that sense. And even though the effects might look a bit hokey nowadays in 2024, the story is just still so damn impressive and investing that you can't help but love this movie. I'm going to give Poltergeist an A-. Just make sure you show the new people to horror this version as opposed to the remake. Because like I alluded to earlier, that remake is just dog shit. And as much as you may want to try and defend said dog shit, you can't really fix dog shit. And much like with this original, that remake is perfect proof of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But let me know what you thought of Poltergeist down in the comment section below. Do you guys like the remake? Is there anybody out there who likes the remake? I love discussing all things in cinema and entertainment over here on the regular. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Tap that thumbs up as well. Y'all are the best, and thank you so much again for your continued patience with me. This is, like, again, huge transition in my life right now. I'm mostly settled into my new apartment, so hopefully more and more videos will be coming to you guys. I understand if you're completely disappointed in how the Halloween playlist has looked this year. Still a very fun playlist, I'm sure. There's still a couple other movies that I would like to review, and there's a couple other reviews still to come with Lindsay as well. And I can't wait to reveal what those are with you guys. Stay tuned. Y'all are the best. And with all that being said, Back Talk commence.